you can't tell, I'm super excited about today's lesson. If you're having a hard time drawing eyes, I know they can be difficult. If you having a hard time just understanding the anatomy of the eye, or you want to learn how to draw any eye, any type of eye, no matter what the reference is, no matter if it's made up in your mind, to make it look realistic, this is the video for you, because I'm going to break all this down. Like, this is the easiest step into drawing the eye. And I've been drawing eyes my whole entire drawing career, right? But I struggled for most of it because I just didn't know where to start. I didn't know how to start. I didn't know the true anatomy of the eye and how to look at the eye in a different way. Everything's about perspective, right? You can draw one thing your whole life, but then you get a different perspective on it and you draw it differently, and it just turns out beautifully, right? So this is what I'm gonna do for you guys. I'm gonna show you how to draw a realistic eye, because you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. We all start somewhere, and this is the best step, or the best way to do it, in my opinion. Let's get to it, man. I'm super excited about this tutorial. Let's go. Finding the angle first, like using sharp objects, find the main shapes, because everything are shapes. When you look at the eyeball, every part of the eyeball is a shape. You have to pay attention to that. So that's what I'm gonna do, and that's how I'm gonna show you how to draw an eyeball. And that's really the secret to it. We have this reference image right here. First thing, like I said, I start with the tear duct, or you can start with the circle of the eyeball itself. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the circle and the tear duct. So this is the tear duct, this is the circle, right? And then I'm just gonna follow the angle of the opening of the eye. The skin separates, which is strange to think about. The skin separates and you can see the eyeball. The eyeball sits inside the socket of the skull, and you can see the iris, the pupil and everything. Finding that main shape. You see it goes up like this. I think it's at this angle, and then it comes down like at this angle. And then the line comes like so. Not perfectly horizontal. It kind of has some type of, height to it. Then the bottom, something like this. And this is the end of the eye. And then the other end where the tear duct is, the end of the eyeball, you can't really see it under the skin, but if you were, it will end right here where the tear duct starts, because the tear duct is not a part of the eyeball. This in. And then the iris, I would say, oh, this is a secret with finding the iris, or the size of the iris, because sometimes people draw it too small, they draw it too big. Don't look at the size of the iris, the circle, the pupil. Look at the white of the ball. Look at the negative space. So whatever shape that negative space is making, that's what you want to draw in. So I'm not looking at the iris and see how big it is. I'm looking at the eyeball, the white of the eyeball itself. Let's just say it's about this size, right? And the pupil is pretty big on this eye. About so, right? And then you have this highlight that comes up like this. And then the upper eyelid, this angle comes out. Actually, it's a very sharp turn, like right up here. And it comes down like so. And then the bottom, the bags of the eye, somewhat like this. Okay, there we go. Now we have the overall outline of the eye itself. Now that we have the outline in, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna make the sharp shapes, the really sharp objects, these weird angles, we're gonna make them all curved. We're not gonna make them sharp anymore. I'm gonna curve this part right up here. Curve this side like so. And remember, when you outline, don't draw very dark, don't apply a lot of pressure, because you want to be able to correct a line if you make a mistake. Until you're absolutely sure that your proportions are accurate, that's when you want to darken the line. And then now I'm gonna lightly align the iris, make it more into a circle. I know it's messy, but don't worry about that. And then I always start with the darkest values first. When I shade, I hatch. If you've seen all my other videos, I hatch. That's my go-to technique. So make sure to watch that on how to shade properly, how to get accurate, smooth, clean, cohesive shading. And then I'm going to start working on the tear duct. The tear duct, it doesn't need that much pressure. It's just a bunch of different shapes that really don't make sense, so just draw what you see. And there's always going to be some sort of highlight in the tear duct as well, so pay attention to that. So you have that in. Come up. And remember that shadow I was talking about? There's a shadow right under here. So I'm just going to go ahead and just draw in that shadow, right? Very lightly. All right, and then I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the iris. And I'm not even like really done shading at all. This is looking like the reference image, if you ask me, already. And that's how powerful finding the angles and finding the main shapes first, boxing in the shapes, right? Instead of just going in, trying to make all the details off rip. No, you want to go in, find the overall angles first, and then box in all the shapes. Make them sharp shapes, make them sharp objects, right? And then go back in once you feel comfortable with your proportions, and then curve everything out. And this is just a messy drawing or a messy sketch of an eye. Now remember, you do not want to forget the eyelashes. Eyelashes are super easy to draw. Just draw in the direction they are forming or they're making. You kind of want to scratch the paper, flicker it out. You don't want to just draw a very like strong or defined line. Just scratch it, sketch it out. That's all you really need to do. As you can see, I left the white of the eyeball white because I want to show you how to shade it properly. Barely apply pressure to the paper. Lightly press your pen onto the white of the eyeball and hatch super, super lightly. The more spaced apart the lines are, the lighter the value seems to be. So that's what we're gonna do the closer we get to the iris. So right now I'm hatching very close, and then I'm slowly spacing my lines out. And let me define this highlight a little bit more. Boom. And then I'm gonna shade this area. I'm not worried about making this like super light because there is a shadow on this side. And boom, that's how you sketch an eye. That's how you draw an eye accurately. Like, it's really simple to do. Yes, I can work this more, make smoother lines, make smoother hatching, and make it seem more realistic, but this is the overall premise, the overall idea on how to create something free-handed from reference and how you can apply it to your free-handed drawings from imagination. It's super simple. Find the angles, make sharp shapes, box in the shapes, right? Even if it looks crazy, box it in. It will make sense later. Once you're confident with that, you're gonna curve all the sharp angles and curve all the lines, and then you start shading. And the tips I gave you with the white of the eyeball, where the shadows fall usually, and how the eyeball works itself, you can apply this to any drawing, even if it's from your head. I have many more tutorials on my page, and I'm here to help you, right? I'm an artist. I've been drawing for over 20 years. When I tell you I give out so much free game, I want you to become a better artist, right? So check out me on my other social media platforms. There's a Patreon where you have exclusive videos that will really help you learn how to draw and get better. And also, I do have an ebook that teaches you everything to do with where to find the pen to transitions and how to create realistic drawings. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Till next time.